Hey everyone, welcome back to Heal My Cosmos. I'm your host, Jenny Lee. I'm an astrologer, an energy healer, and a therapist. And I am working on this self healing deck, and it's an oracle deck. And every time I create a new card or I process a new card, I create a podcast episode about it. It's been a hot minute since I processed a card on the podcast. Um, and I think it's divine timing. The sun went into Aquarius yesterday, and it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe even for Aquarius season. This Aquarius season is unique because we have Pluto in Aquarius. And so all of the planets that go into Aquarius are going to be, I visualize it as pass and go and collecting $200 like Monopoly. Like all of the planets that go into Aquarius have to come together with the planet Pluto in Aquarius. And they have a direct conjunction with Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation, the planet of necessary changes. And in Aquarius, it's definitely potent because Aquarius is all about progressing and evolving forward and being very future focused and oriented. So, with all of this Aquarius Pluto energy, the cards that came up today in the self-healing deck, I felt were so synchronized with all of the planets funneling into Aquarius starting last night. And so we have, even the moon is in Aquarius today. So I thought that was even more powerful. And so Aquarius is a fixed air sign, right? And so there's a fixed sign of each element, right? So there's 4 fixed signs, and Aquarius is the fixed air sign. Now, Aquarius is fixed because any of the fixed signs are signs that have trouble coming out of their way of wanting to make something happen. And they can become fixated. Aquarius is the visionary. So Aquarius can get fixated on their vision of how it's supposed to be, the vision of the future, which is a gift to us, right? The Aquarian future vision is a gift. And the pace in which we are being challenged to step into the future and to make the changes that will align with the future can feel like a lot. And so fixed air is a very strong energy of change and progression, and can be very fixated on the type of change and progression that it wants. And so the self-healing oracle card of the day that we're going to discuss, there's always two cards. There's one self-clearing card, right? So it's the card representing the energy that we're meant to clear away and release from ourselves and our energy fields. And then there is a self-renewal card. So we always pull a self-renewal card along with a self-clearing card, because once we clear the energy of what we're meant to release, we want to invite in a renewal card to help us renew and bring in an energy that can then lead us forward in a more productive way. And so our self-clearing card of the day is the energy of insanity. So, the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same things and expect different results. So, with Aquarius, we have to be aware of this energy, right? We have to be aware of the energy of insanity forming, or us embodying the energy of insanity with all of the Aquarius energy and Pluto, because Pluto represents, the breaking down of the old in order to rebuild, right? The destruction of what's no longer working so that what will work and what is in alignment with your actual truth can be built, right? And so insanity is our self-healing card, our self-clearing card. And it's really about starting to unpack within yourself what it is that you continue to do, what it is that you're in a cycle around, that you're continuously finding yourself in a pattern, right? Like you're doing that thing again, right? Or you're engaging in that way again, or you're having this same expectation of yourself or others that hasn't led you anywhere good in the past, right? It hasn't proven to be healthy for you. It hasn't proven to be like actually a good idea for you to engage in. And so taking a moment to self-identify with the cycle of insanity, right? This cycle of continuing to do the same things and expect different results. What does that look like for you? Where does it come up? What area of life, right? And so with all of these planets entering Aquarius and coming in contact and direct conjunction with Pluto in Aquarius, we are bound to need to face our cycles of insanity. And so it's a perfect time to be asking ourselves this question, right? Because Aquarius is on one end of the spectrum, brilliant, and on the other side of the spectrum, insane, right? And so these energies, they are two extremes of the same energy. And so with insanity, it's important to ask yourself the question, where am I actually trying to get that I'm just actually going in circles around, right? Because insanity is going in circles. It's like, okay, continuing to do the same thing. I have a result in mind, but it's the same thing over and over. And I'm ignoring the fact that there has never been a different outcome, even though I've been in this cycle of insanity. So I think it's important during this Aquarius season, during these Pluto transits that we are going through, to allow it to happen, right? It's happening with or without us, and we get to engage in this healing, right? So Pluto is the great healer. Pluto is the great transformer, right? And so we have to allow ourselves, especially because all of these planets in Aquarius are personal planets, and they're planets that affect us in a very personal way. And so we are going to be feeling these transits more personally and asking ourselves, where am I still in a cycle of insanity? And it's important to approach yourself without judgment, right? Because it can be easy to be like, really hard on ourselves when we recognize that we're doing the same thing, even though we thought we weren't, right? Because sometimes we really think that we're not doing the same thing we always did. And then we find that we're doing the same thing, maybe not in as extreme of a way. Maybe we're not as engaged in the cycle as we once were, right? Like there's all of these like nuances and, subtle differences in where we could be now versus the past. But it doesn't really matter where we are in the spectrum. It's more just recognizing that, yeah, like this is another blind spot of mine, and it's okay to call myself out on it. It's okay to discuss it with other people that are safe for me to share vulnerably with, right? And so asking yourself, where am I continuing to do the same thing and expect different results in my current life? And then inviting in the self-renewal energy of radical truth. So our self-renewal card of the day from the Self-Healing Oracle is radical truth. And so this is the energy we want to invite in. This is the energy that we want to immerse ourselves in. This is the energy that we want to set intention to guide us forward through these Pluto transits, because ultimately Pluto does want us to be embodying radical truth, and Aquarius also wants us to be embodying radical truth. And so what does that really mean, right? Like radical truth is different from truth in the sense that it's the extreme version of truth. And when we're looking at it within ourselves, recognizing the cycle of self-insanity that we've been in can be helpful, because typically the difference between insanity and brilliance is just that one layer of a blind spot that's blocking us from that radical truth, right? That deeper truth, right? Dropping down deeper into the truth within ourselves. And so as you work with these energies, as you start to process what this looks like for you, and everyone's a little bit different, keeping in mind that everyone's natal astrology chart is different. You may or may not have actual planets in Aquarius in your chart, and everybody has Aquarius in their chart somewhere. So at least one of your houses of your astrology chart has Aquarius energy. And so that means that includes you as well in terms of processing, how does insanity show up for me, right? And how can I come out of it, right? So for me, recently, within the past couple of days, my own cycle of insanity came up in a dream state where I saw myself trying to go up a staircase that was like covered in broken glass. And over and over and over again in the cycle of insanity, I was trying to get up the staircase while the glass was there, and like trying to like go around the glass in this very insane way. And then through, my own process of healing and contemplation and processing, I finally started cleaning up the glass on the stairs myself, right? Like I just went and found a broom and started cleaning up the glass. And after that, it was like the dream wasn't there anymore, right? Like I had moved whatever energy I was in, which was this insanity of attempting to go up in my life by essentially ignoring the broken pieces that were still blocking me from rising higher in my journey. And then again, through the process of acknowledging, through the process of just asking myself a lot of questions and doing meditation, I finally came to this point of, oh, I get to sweep up the glass. Like I can take responsibility for the glass. I can acknowledge it. I can clean it up and make it a safe staircase to climb. And yeah, it was just really eye-opening for me when I started to unpack what that all meant. Like, what was that really about for me? The broken glass on the staircase, and what was on the other side of it, and why it had been such a blind spot to me in the past. And so I hope that that sharing is helpful for you in your own process. It may or may not surface in a dream or a meditation. It could just be you taking a walk and having an epiphany about some sort of cycle of insanity that you find yourself still in. I encourage you, when you ask yourself the question, to just give yourself spaciousness for the answer to come, and to just be guided into conversations with other people that, again, feel safe to have conversations with. That's really important. Because Aquarius season also brings us new connections, friendships, groups that we're meant to be a part of. Just alignment with like-minded people is more possible in Aquarius season. So just taking that into account, that sometimes you align with someone that maybe has a message for you, that maybe helps you identify your blind spot, that maybe is there to witness you in your place of radical truth and embodiment of that. And so just staying open. Aquarius season is really social. It's about surrendering to the radical truth that you are worthy enough in all of your unique quirks, everything that makes you you, and not having to throw away any of it, and be embraced. Be embraced just as you are. Come as you are, right? That is Aquarius season. And so I will leave you with that. I will leave you with, how can you come as you are and receive more support in your journey of stepping into your own radical truth, stepping out of your own blind spots of cycles of insanity that you have been in. And yeah, happy Aquarius season. Thank you for being a part of this self-healing journey with me, and witnessing me talk about my sacred work, which is this self-healing oracle that eventually will be out and printed. And yeah, I'm also starting an astrology study group this week. Astrology is ruled by Aquarius, so it's perfect timing if you're finding yourself like geeking out on astrology and you want to learn more. There are 2 spots left in my class, and there is a link to the sign up in this episode, and as well as in my bio, my Instagram story. And I look forward to seeing you there if it feels aligned for you. Again, happy Aquarius season, and I will talk to everyone soon.